This lesson isn't a lesson that I've created, it's a lesson from the DFES Standards Unit for Improving Learning in Maths. So it's a maths lesson. The resources that I'm going to show you today are resources that I have created using the ideas that I've got from the pack. So really all I'm going to do is go through the PowerPoint that I use as a lesson with my students, but I'm not going to complete it as a full lesson because you only need 7 minutes. So here I would start off with this as a starter and draw what the house would look like from above. The front's looking in the direction of the arrow and the right hand side. And my students would have the mini whiteboards with the squared boxes on, and they'd have a go. At this point I'd start to ask them about keywords, and do they know what the keywords terms are for above, and then obviously put it up there with them. Front elevation, and right hand side. So that starts to give us some keywords, which will be linked into the exam. Then obviously I'd go through the answers, and it would create some discussion here that there may be more than one correct answer for these answers. So it gives the children an opportunity sort of to discuss and expand on what they already know. The next part of the lesson is a matching game. So it's a 15-minute task, and what I've sort of spent a lot of time with these lessons is not just doing pair work, but giving tasks for the pairs. So it's not just you two work together on this, it's giving actual roles. So the rules are, take it in turns to match a perspective card, and I printed it on blue, with the correct 3 plan and elevation cards. So they would then, so that's sort of the example of what they need to do. The person doing the matching must give explanations as to why the 4 cards match up. So in this I'm trying to encourage sort of discussions and explanations rather than just this works, yes. So that they would discuss it and contrast with each other. If they didn't agree with each other, it would create some form of discussion. And for those of you that aren't maths teachers, the last sort of couple of years are really sort of pushing a functional element to the maths GCSE, where they're looking at far more contextualised questions, far more literacy being involved in there, and they're expecting further detail in their explanation than has been in the past. So it's about, for me, trying to encourage my students to discuss and to chat amongst each other. Okay, so then the partner must challenge what they've done. As part of this pack, they were given a number of perspective cards and then the plan front and right side. They were also given a blank perspective card. What they had to do then with the remaining 3 cards was to draw what it would have looked like. And there's also some further extension on there as well. Again, more than one solution, so to create some discussions. So then I've made I've put on the PowerPoints the solutions for them, because when you've got a 50-minute lesson, as you do in my school, or an hour lesson, trying to get all of this in there takes a lot of valuable time when you're trying to check and do a bit of AFL and so on. So I found it quicker just to sort of have the answers up there, and then they can peer assess and check with each other. So that was just the answers for the first matching task. We then had, as I said, 3 cards, and they had to draw what the last one looked like. So at this point I would get the students to come up and have a go at drawing it, and discuss whether, this is what we got, how difficult it was to draw it, whether it was easy. And some people, as we know, will find it easier to draw than others. That was the actual diagram that goes with the pack, but they might have drawn it from a slightly different angle, or they might have had sort of slightly different in the way that the angles are drawn at the top. At this point, I started to link it through to isometric drawing, and we can see here that whilst they are the same, they look slightly different. So that then starts the conversation of, why are they different? Are they the same? Does it make sense? Can we see? So you see here, you're actually missing the little bit there, and is that okay? Yeah? Because it's behind, yeah, okay. So So then cleanly match up the isometric cards to the sets that you have already. So the sets that they've got already, where I showed you all the answers, they then had the isometric diagrams and they had to go and place them. And write your explanations by diagrams. How do you know that they fit in there again? So again, it's a little bit more detail on explaining it. Linking this very nicely to, I've done the solutions again, just because it means I can get through a lot more in 50 minutes. Then taking us nicely into what we're going to start to do next lesson. Next lesson we're going to start to look at drawing shapes on isometric paper, because we do find this quite challenging. We're going to get multi-link, we're going to make our own shapes out of so many multi-link cubes. Extension, I would give them more multi-link cubes and they can sort of design what shapes they want to do.